NOITE update. ILLIT has officially entered a new era. The group that once defined fresh simplicity is stepping into something chic, sharper, and more confident. Early coverage highlights a clear shift in sound, image, and attitude, and fans worldwide are tuning in to see what this transformation means.
Most groups think their story starts at debut. Lights on, attention hits, fans roll in. It feels like the beginning. But anyone who's been in K-pop long enough knows debut hype doesn't prove anything. The real test comes after the first song fades. The cycle repeats every year. A rookie group enters with heat, floats for a few months, then reality checks them. NewJeans went from attention to dealing with unpredictable legal trouble. Kepler hit their peak too early and slipped. Stacey had a strong start, but their chart numbers cooled down. Year 2 shows who's actually built to last and who just caught a moment.
Baby, I'm just trying to play cool, but I just can't hide that I want you.
ILLIT stepped straight into that scene on the 25th of March 2024 with
This time I want you, like it's magnetic.
On paper, the debut looked perfect. 73 perfect all kills, a Billboard Hot 100 entry at 91, and UK charting at 80. The song felt easy, genuine, and refreshing in a market drowning in overproduction. But that kind of success comes with a catch. People expect you to repeat it. Critics wait for the drop-off. The industry locks you into a single image and hopes you don't wander too far. Then April hit. Min Hee-jin accused B-Lift Lab of copying NewJeans, and suddenly every frame ILLIT had ever shown got dissected. Outfits, sets, choreography, everything became fuel for comparison before the group even had the chance to grow. A lot of rookies would have folded or gone quiet. Some would have played it safe and clung to whatever worked once. ILLIT didn't. They kept promoting Magnetic exactly as planned, stayed consistent on stage, and didn't let the noise bend their direction. That decision ended up mattering more than people realized. October brought just 7 months after debut. The pace alone said something. Most rookies wait 8 to 12 months between releases and stretch their first success as far as they can. ILLIT didn't sit still. They kept moving, building a body of work, while others were still tied to one track. The song added new layers without drifting from who they were. The production felt cleaner and more detailed than Magnetic, while keeping that easy charm people liked. The choreography asked more from them. They even pushed tic-tac during promotions, continuing the habit they'd shown with Lucky Girl Syndrome back at debut. NME pointed out how bold tic-tac sounded with its chiptune-heavy video game energy. It showed how ILLIT were willing to play with electronic elements most rookie groups avoid. It wasn't loud confidence, just quiet proof that they could handle sounds outside the usual rookie lane. By the end of 2024, the results reflected it. NPR listed them as one of the new artists worth watching. Billboard included them in several year-end summaries. NME highlighted how they approached pop from a different angle. Meanwhile, Magnetic kept rising and eventually became the fastest debut track by a K-pop group to hit 700 million streams on Spotify, doing it in just 597 days and beating the timeline of NewJeans' Hype Boy by more than 500 days. But the real takeaway was simpler. ILLIT didn't hit their ceiling at debut. They were building something step by step while other groups tried to repeat their first viral moment. February 2025 brought Almond Chocolate for Valentine's Day, their first Japanese original tied to the live-action movie It Takes More Than a Pretty Face to Fall in Love. The song leaned softer than anything they had released before, trading their usual upbeat pace for something gentle and romantic. A Korean version followed in March, showing they could handle ballad-leaning material without losing their tone. The move fit their larger plan. It pushed them into Japan while proving they could sing beyond light pop. It also hinted at something deeper. They were open to sounds that didn't sit neatly inside the fresh and simple box people placed them in. Summer brought their third mini-album with Do the Dance. The track had more energy, backed by the confidence they had built on stage. The production felt tighter, the choreography pushed them harder, and the instrumental looked as gorgeous as the members. A year of performing across Korea and Japan had settled into their posture and timing. July highlighted that growth again, with another full music video for a B-side, this time.
Hey, 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 boy, you make me jealous.
Most companies focus only on title tracks, but giving another album cut its own MV showed B-Lift Lab trusted the depth of ILLIT's music. While other 2024 rookies were still proving their title tracks could chart, ILLIT were already shaping an actual album identity. September marked their Japanese debut with Toki Yo Tamare. The timing surprised people. Most groups wait years before committing to a full launch in Japan. ILLIT did it in 18 months, and the reception grew steadily from the start. Every 2 to 3 months brought something new. A song, a concept, a market shift. Each release tested a different angle. The pattern became obvious. ILLIT were building a catalog instead of chasing one-off hype. That approach built trust. Fans saw a group that stayed active, took calculated risks, and delivered with consistency. When a group proves versatility early, they earn room to grow later. And by November 2025, they would need that room more than ever. Somewhere between debut and their next comeback, people began imagining different versions of ILLIT. Fans wanted different things. Some hoped for the same bright charm they felt with Magnetic, while others pushed for something more mature. The company viewed them through branding plans shaped by previous hype groups. Media outlets added another layer, labeling them with simple narratives and constant comparisons. All of it created noise around who ILLIT should be, while overlooking the most important perspective, which was the members themselves. These were not girls planning to stay in one lane. Their variety show moments, fan cafe posts, and the way they carried themselves on stage showed clear signs of ambition. They appreciated what they had built, but they also knew they were capable of more than the limits people kept placing on them. That tension surfaced fully when Not Cute Anymore was announced. The title alone hinted at a change before anyone heard the song. It pushed back against every assumption people had about their image and direction. Concept photos arrived in November. The Not Cute version placed them in a monochromatic office setting with clean, striking visuals. Their styling felt focused and confident, far from the casual debut-era wardrobe. Moving posters expanded the mood with bold imagery, including a pink tombstone reading "Cute is Dead." Every detail showed a group ready to bring out something completely different. And the 24th of November 2025 finally arrived with ILLIT stepping into a new phase of their identity.
I'm not cute anymore.
Landed as a confident pop track, built on a reggae-inspired rhythm that gives the song a steady edge without losing the softness people associate with them. The groove feels tighter, the chic attitude sits closer to the surface, and the overall sound pushes them away from the bright simplicity of their debut toward a fuller and more layered direction. It shows they can keep their natural charm while adding weight, depth, and personality. This is the moment where their music starts sounding less like rookies proving themselves and more like a group shaping their own lane. This felt like the real debut. Not because March 2024 didn't matter, but because Magnetic was simply the introduction the market needed. It was accessible enough to break through, simple enough to go viral, and genuine enough to build a fan base. It opened the door. Not Cute Anymore walked straight through it and showed what ILLIT had been aiming for from the start. Every release had been preparing fans for this moment. Cherish added sophistication. Tic Tac leaned into electronic textures. Almond Chocolate highlighted their vocals. Do the Dance boosted confidence. Tokyo Tamare showed global reach. Almost 2 years of steady steps made this leap feel earned. The maturity showed because the growth was consistent. The change felt natural because it revealed what had been there all along. And beneath all the numbers, ILLIT proved something simple. Evolution doesn't erase identity. You can grow without losing what makes you you. You can mature without letting go of what people connected with in the first place. The same 5 girls who debuted with Magnetic had grown into artists guiding their own direction. Year 1 was about proving they belonged. Year 2 was about showing who they really are. The rookie curse never stood a chance against a group that refused to stop moving. ILLIT walked into 2024 with everything to prove. They could have played it safe, recycled Magnetic until it stopped working, and disappeared like countless rookies before them. But they chose the harder route. Release by release, they pushed their sound, handled pressure, entered new spaces, and kept their identity intact. They didn't run from expectations, they outgrew them. Not cute anymore didn't signal a breakaway. It marked the moment everything clicked into place and showed the version of ILLIT they'd been growing toward since day 1. A real debut happens when you stop chasing approval and start showing what you can actually do. Their second year made it clear the curse only applies if you let it. 5 girls understood something the industry keeps forgetting. Staying yourself doesn't mean staying the same. The real debut happened. Everything that comes next is just getting started. ILLIT dared to be bold. Will you?